Hi, good morning my dear students. Welcome to the chemistry class. So in the last class we have completed the solution chapters. So here now we are beginning the new chapter, that is electrochemistry. So electrochemistry is one of the very important and the very interesting concepts. So here you can able to compare the beauty of physics and chemistry, how we are differentiating the one of the concept in a solution and in a solid, that can be easily identified, and you can enjoy this concept if you are thoroughly studied in physics and also chemistry. So this is the very interesting concept. I hope I will give you the guarantee that you never get any boring in these concepts. So this is how this is very much interesting concept. So as the name says, electrochemistry. So here we are going to study the generation of electricity by the chemistry. Means we know that chemistry is nothing but a chemical reaction. Here only the reactions are going to take place, where a spontaneous chemical reaction occurs by the transformation of ions or by the transformation of electrons. So I hope you know that. So whenever the reaction is going place, means whenever the reaction is taking place, there is always a transformation of electrons takes place. So for that reason we are saying that the reaction is always undergo the redox reaction. Redox reaction is nothing but what? So whenever I say sodium is combined with the chlorine, it's going to form as a sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. So here sodium is being a neutral, it's going to lose one electron, therefore it's going to carry a plus charge. Chlorine is being a zero, it's going to receive one electron, therefore it's going to form a negative. So initially the charge of sodium and chlorine is zero. So sodium is going to lose one electron, whereas chlorine is going to receive that one electron from the sodium. So here if the electrons are lost, then it's called as oxidation. If the electrons are received, then it's called as reduction. The loss of electron is oxidation and the gain of electron is called as reduction. Therefore together it is called as redox reaction. You have already studied it in detail about redox reaction in first PUC, even in high school also. So here redox reaction is nothing but, commonly it is a very much familiar, which explains about the transformation of the electrons. Here loss of electrons and gain of electrons are going to take place simultaneously in the reaction. So here what I am going to explain is, so can you see here the electrons are transforming. So one of the element is losing, another one element is receiving the electron. So here electrons are undergo transformation. So here, so transformation of electrons appears in a chemical reaction. You should keep in your mind the same thing. Electrons are present and it is undergo the transforming, means electrons are shifting from one reactor, means one element to the another element, one reactant to the another reactant. For that reason, the reactions which undergo the transformation of the electron, that also undergo the transformation of the ions. What it means, if the electrons is losing means, then we are calling that as an ion. It's forming as ion. That ion is called as cation. Here, if the electrons are going to receive the electron, if one element is going to receive the electron, it means that it's going to carry the negative charge. That is called as, that is also one kind of the ion, that is anions. So here, I would like to clear you the very interesting, the beautiful concept, that is, if you can take any of the example. For example, the same thing, can you able to hear possible? So I am not getting any metal here to show you. So otherwise we can take the example of my watch. I am not sure that it's purely metal or not. So think that it is a metal, isn't it? This metal conduct electricity or not? Yes, obviously it conduct electricity. So all the metal conduct electricity. How means the metal, if it is conduct electricity, means it should have the free electrons according to the physics I am talking. So if the material conduct electricity, means it should have the free electrons. Why? Because in a solid compound the electricity transfers by the migration of ions. Here this watch, if it is a metal, it should have the free electrons, then only that free electrons will move. If the electrons are moving, if the electrons are disturbing, if the electrons are undergoing any transformation, then only it generates the potential difference, means the energy will be undergoed the difference. That potential difference creates the electricity. I hope if you are thoroughly studied, enjoyed the chemistry or physics, you can able to understand this one. If not, means by my words try to understand that one. Means in the metal, electricity conducts by the migration. Migration is nothing but movement or shifting is called as migration. In the metal, the electricity conducts due to the migration of electrons. Here electrons will be present, that electrons are undergo the movement. If the electrons are moving, then electricity is present, means electricity is transforming, means current is passing. Are you getting my point? So in the metal, electricity generates by the migration of electrons. In the solid metal, electricity in a metal, electricity, nothing but current, transfers only by the presence of electrons. Only by the presence of electrons, keep in your mind. And again, in the solution is nothing but you can think that in a liquid, whether electricity conduct or not. The first thing we will take the example of water. Whether water conducts electricity or not. Think and tell me. If yes, means we may say that. So in some of the area, if more number of water is rainwater is fallen, at that time we may have that current. We are not having that much of electricity in the earth, means there is no tendency of short circuit, or we are not feeling that current in the earth. If some electrical wire is broken and fall on the road, which is at the time of raining is taking place, and the water is present in the earth, we are not have that much of experience. So it means that water is not conduct electricity. Sometime it will conduct, but which kind of the water conduct electricity? It means that, keep in your mind. I hope in the SSLC you have studied this concept. The pure water do not conduct electricity. The pure water do not conduct electricity. If you added a salt to that water, then it calls salt solution. Salt solution. Only the salt solution can conduct the electricity. Keep in your mind, water do not conduct electricity. Probably it will not conduct electricity, whereas salt solution conduct electricity. How means? In the water it do not have the ions. It should have the ions, but water is not having the ions. H, O, both are there, but H is not in the form of H plus, O is not in the form of O minus. Whereas when you dissolve some salt in the water, that water is, which is containing the salt, it is generating the salt solution. It means that when you are added a NaCl in the water, if you are added NaCl in the water, then NaCl is going to form of Na plus and Cl minus. There is a free ions are generated. Free ions are generated. Those free ions generated, they are undergo the migration. Those ions are undergo the movement. Because of these ions, there is a generation of electricity. Means electricity creates or passes in the solution only when the solution is containing the free ions. Free ions, if it is available in the solution or if it is available in the liquid, then only such kind of liquids are conduct electricity. Otherwise, it will not conduct electricity. Keep in your mind. So, ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದಿಟ್ಕೊರಿ, ನೆನಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊರಿ. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಮಳಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತೈತೆ, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಲೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಬ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಬಹಳ ಮಳಿ ಆದಾಗ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್, ಮಳೆ ಜೋರು ಬಂದಾಗ ನೀವು ಆ ಮಳೆ ನೀರು ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ನಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ನಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಲೈಟ್ ಕಂಬಕ್ಕೆ, ಆ ಲೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಬಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟಚ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಇರುವಂಥ ಲೈಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಗೆ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ವೈರ್ ಇಂದ ಆ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವೈರ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಲೈನ್ ಏನು ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಬ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಆ ಕಂಬದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಶಾಕ್ ಹೊಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವೈರ್ it is touched to the earth, and that is earth is almost it is filled by the water. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಮಟ್ಟ ನೀರಿದೆ, ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ತುಂಬ ನೀರಿದೆ. ಆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡಲ್ಲಿನೇ ಆ ಲೈಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಲೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಬ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಲೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಶಾಕ್ ಹೊಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಲೈಟ್ ಕಂಬ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀರೊಳಗಡೆನೆ ಅದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ನೀರಿಗೆ ಶಾಕ್ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ನೀರು ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಇರ್ತದ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ the rain water. It's pure water, it do not containing any of the salts. So it means that pure water do not conduct electricity. Why? Because it's not having the salt. Whereas the salt, if it is present in the water, means it is having the free ions. If the free ions are there, then we are having the free ions, then only the solution can conduct the electricity. Similarly, as I explained you, the metal conducting electricity by the regulation of ions. If they are not having free electrons, then the metal do not conduct electricity. Similarly, in the liquid or the solution, it conduct electricity only when it is having the free ions. Is it clear for you? So this is the very best and common important example or fundamental thing throughout this chapter. If you forget this concept, means you can't able to enjoy this concept. This is a basic thing. That's why I took 10 minutes to explain the meaning of electrochemistry. The electrochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of generation of electricity from a spontaneous chemical reaction. Spontaneous is nothing but some of the reactions are continuous without stopping. If the reactions are continuously without any breakage, without any stop, if it continues, then it's called as spontaneous. Spontaneous matlab continuous reaction. If the reaction is continued for the longer time, then there is easily the transformation of ions will take place. Such kind of reaction is going to generate the electricity. Means we are generating the electricity in some of the reaction, some of the chemical reaction. For that reason, the study of generation of electricity by the help of chemistry is called as electrochemistry. Sir, chemistry is different, electricity is different. No, never. We are using the battery in our mobiles. We are having the mobiles. This mobiles is going to carry the battery. So this battery is nothing but it's having some battery. This battery is going to generate the electricity. That's why the mobile is on. So it means that here the mobile and vehicle, automobiles, whichever we are using, the batteries, those batteries are nothing but it's having some liquid compounds. Those liquids are the chemical. Because of that liquid, we are generating the electricity. So it means that we are using a maximum electricity by the application of chemistry. For that reason, wherever you are observing the automobiles and the batteries, that is electrochemistry is going to explain the application of those all materials. So take it for granted. Don't say that electrochemistry is a new thing or unfamiliar, because it is very much familiar for you in a day-to-day life. You have already touched with these all things, but the name electrochemistry is new for you, but not the concepts. So let's begin. The electrochemistry, as its definition says, it's a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of generation of electricity by spontaneous chemical reaction. So I hope you can understand spontaneous means the continuation. Here we are going to study the very basic concept. You are very familiar about this. So let's begin. What is first one? Conductance. So do you know what is conductance? Conductance is nothing but the substance which conduct electricity. Conductance. So here conductance or conductor, we may call that as a conductor also. So here conductor is nothing but the substance which conduct electricity is called as conductor, whereas some of the substances do not conduct electricity. Those are called as, obviously it is called as insulator. Insulator is nothing but the substance which do not conduct electricity are called as insulator, which conduct electricity are called as conductor. And some of the substances are those, sometimes they will conduct electricity, sometimes they do not. Such kind of compounds are called as semiconductor. That is, in semiconductor, P and N type semiconductors are there. I hope you have already studied about this semiconductor, conductor, insulator in the physics, because it is a very much fundamental thing in physics. So here we are not going to study about the insulator which do not conduct electricity, whereas we are continuing in the conductors. So in the conductor there are two types of conductor. One is the conductor which conduct electricity in a solid state. That is called as metallic conductor. So what is metallic conductor? As the name says, here some of the substance conduct electricity in a metallic state. Metallic state means a solid. So all the metals or some of the almost metals, according to the physics it is. If the metal conduct electricity, those are called as metallic conductor. Here in the metallic conductor, the conductors takes place due to the migration of whether ions or electrons in metals, whether it is ions or electrons. And in metal, the electricity conducts by migration of, yes, that is electron. Therefore it is called as electron conductor. So here electron conductor or electronic conductor, both are same. Electronic conductor. So what is electronic conductor? Where we are getting means in the metal, here metal conduct electricity by the migration of electron. For that reason we are calling that as electronic conductor. Whereas second one is here current also conducts in a liquid, means in a solution. Here the solution conduct electricity by the migration of ions. For that reason the first one is metallic conductor and second one is electrolytic conductor. It is called as electrolytic conductor. So I hope just I would like to recall you. Think that it is a beaker. It's containing some solution. One rod is liquid and it is connected to the battery. This rod is called as electrode. Keep in your mind, whichever you may feel it is a very small and silly thing, but this small silly thing will differs you to understand the larger concepts. For that reason, you are not supposed to forget this very smallest concepts whichever you have already studied since even studying since first PUC. So this is called as electrode. This rod is called as electrode. That is electrode. Where the solution which is present means this electrode is dipped in one solution. It may be any of the solution. If the solution which is in means in this rod is dipped in some solution, that solution is called as electrolyte. Electrolyte means electrode is dipped in a solution. That solution is called as electrolyte. Are you getting this one? So here rod is nothing but electrode and the solution which is present here is called as electrolyte. Why I am explaining this one means electrode and electrolyte together it is called as electrolysis. So electrolysis is nothing but here we are conducting the electricity in the solution. That solution is containing the ions. For that reason it is called as electrolysis. Here electricity conducts in a solution which containing the ions. For that reason it is called as electrolytic conductor. Electrolytic conductor is nothing but in a solution it conduct electricity. Here the solution conduct electricity by the migration of ions. Therefore it is called as ionic conductor. So ionic conductor is nothing but liquid conduct electricity by the migration of ions. Therefore it is ionic conductor or electrolytic conductor. So from this actually chapter starts, and these are not the much important, but the concepts if you understand from the basic, you can able to enjoy this one still better. So in conductor there are two types. One is metallic conductor, another one is electrolytic conductor. Metallic means electrons, electrolytic conductor means ions. Here if we continue the further concept by in a metallic conductor, it is purely physics, but for that reason we are stopping this metallic conductor and we are beginning the electrolytic conductor. So here in the electrolytic conductors, I hope you understood why, because this is related to the physics and this is related to the chemistry. So now onwards we are going to study about the electricity in a solution, that is called as electrolytic conductor. So in the electrolytic conductor, here we are going to conduct the electricity in a solution. The solution which conducts electricity are called as electrolytic conductor. coming to the main point, in the electrolytic there are three types of electrolytes are there. In the electrolytic conductor there are three types. One is strong electrolyte. So before this interval, so we observed that in the ionic conductor there are three types of the solutions are there. Means electrolytic conductor, means ionic conductor, there are three types, that is strong electrolyte, weak electrolyte and neutral or non-electrolyte. There are three types of the electrolytes are there. Here the electrolytes are nothing but it conduct electricity by the migration of ions, whereas the strong electrolytes are nothing but these are the electrolyte where these are contained in the solution. That solution is dissolved by the some salts. Those salts are completely ionized. If they are completely ionized, such kinds of solutions are called as strong electrolytes. Means some of the electrolyte can completely ionize those salts. If we are added some salt, means it will completely ionize. Means 10 gram ions if we are added, means the 10 gram completely it is going to ionize as a cations and anions. Such kind of solution is called as electrolyte or strong electrolyte. Strong electrolyte is nothing but it is an electrolyte which completely ionizes. Those are called as strong electrolyte. For example, NaCl, copper sulfate, KCl, these are going to form as a complete ionizations. These are going to form as a complete ionization. For that reason, these are called as strong electrolyte. Whereas weak electrolytes are nothing but those are the electrolyte which partially ionizes the solute. Means whichever we are adding the salt, that those salts are not completely ionizes. Those are going to form as a partial ionization takes place. For that reason, such kind of electrolytes are called as weak electrolytes. For example, hydrofluoric acid (HF), or we may call that as carbonic acid also, H2CO3. H2CO3 is called as carbonic acid. So these two are the example for the weak electrolyte. So it means these are partially ionizes when we dissolve in a solvent. Here the solids are going to form as a complete ionization when we dissolve the solute in a solvent. So similarly, the neutral, or we are calling that as a non-electrolyte. Both are same, non-electrolytes. So non-electrolytes are nothing but these are the electrolyte which do not ionize the salts. If we added the salt, means they are not going to dissolve that salt. They are not going to generate the ions, means cations and anions. They are not generating that one. If they are generated, means the complete formation of ions, completely if it is happened means strong. Partially ions are happened means it is weak electrolyte. If the ions are not generated, means then it is called as non-electrolyte. For example, urea, it is an organic compound, urea, and sugar, and what sucrose, lactose, maltose, chloroform, ether, benzene, C6, H6. Can you see that these are the organic compounds? So organic compounds are formed by the covalent bond. So covalent bond. For that reason, they are not going to form as ions, whereas these are going to form as ions. So ionic compounds are completely ionizes, whereas organic compounds they never undergo any ionization. Why? Because they are formed by the covalent bond. For that reason, all the organic compounds are example for non-electrolytes, whereas strong electrolytes means pure salts. Weak electrolyte means some of the acidic compounds, not all the acids, only some of the acids, that is hydrofluoric and hydrocarbonic acid. These two are the example for strong, weak and non-electrolyte. So here according to me, the first and second one are the important. What is strong electrolyte? Give example. What is weak electrolyte? Give example. Take it as assignment. So write it somewhere, and they will be asked difference, not the difference of strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. And in the last, I explained you, in conductor there are metallic conductor and ionic conductor. So here, metallic conductor conduct electricity by the migration of electrons. Here, conduct electricity by electrons. In the ionic conductor, it conduct electricity by the migration of ions. Whereas here, metallic conductor increases electrical conductivity means current transformation increases by increasing the means on heating with the electricity conductor means think that it is a metal. If it is heating the temperature, if the temperature is increased means that metallic conductor conduct electricity, whether conduction of electricity increases or decreases means here electrical conductivity means conduction of electricity decreases when temperature is increased means it is inversely proportional. As the temperature increases, the conduction of electricity decreases in a metal. So in the metal, the electrical conductance decreases by increasing the temperature. Whereas in the ions, it is reversed means conduction of electricity in the ions increases by increasing the temperature. Why? Because so as we increase the temperature, so solute can able to easily dissolve in a solvent. Means here in the ionic compound, the solute is going to dissolve. Means the salts are going to form as ions. So when they are completely ionized, means as we heated that solution, it's going to completely form as ions. For that reason, so in the ionic conductor, to conduct electricity, we need the greater number of ions. So number of ions will be increases when we heated the solution. For that reason, as the temperature increases, the conduction of ionic compound increases. Whereas that can be expressed in another form, that is resistance. Resistance. What is this resistance? You are very much familiar because you are physics students. So in the physics, resistance is nothing but even in the chemistry also no one was going to use that one. The resistance is nothing but it is a resistance or hindrance the flow of electricity. Thus, it is a phenomenon which stops or reduces the flow of current. Think that it is a current and it is slightly moving, and if I reduces this moving, means if I stop this flow of current, then that is energy is called as resistance. So here the resistance is something but which reduce, which stops the flow of current, not completely stop it, it will reduce the flow of current. That is called as resistance. So here current pass means it is current. If current is controlled means if it is reduced means to make it as a reduced, we are using the resistance. So resistance is represented as a symbol capital R. So resistance, whether it increases or decreases by increasing the temperature, you only say. So here I say the current decreases by increasing the temperature. It means that by increasing the temperature, resistance increases or decreases. How means if the current reduces means it is due to the resistance. So here current is reduces by increasing the temperature. For that reason, as the temperature increases, the resistance also increases. Resistance मतलब ये है कि करंट फ्लो होने का कम होता much. अगर ये करंट पास आಗೋದು ಏನಿದಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ resistance ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So here can you see here the current flow of current is reduces automatically by increasing the temperature. So it means that resistance is increasing. What is resistance? The decreasing the current, that is called as resistance. For that reason, as the temperature increases, resistance increases. What happens here? As the temperature increases in the ionic conductor, the resistance decreases. Why? Because by increasing the temperature, current is not moving in a slow. It will be increases. It means that resistance is decreases. Here, as compared to the previous, resistance can be defined. So resistance is inversely proportional to that. That is current. If current is more, the resistance is less. If the current is less, the resistance is more. So here this compound. And next one, in the metallic conductors do not have any chemical composition. Chemical changes do not undergo. Whereas in the ionic conductor, it undergoes the chemical changes. So why? Because in a chemical reaction, it should undergo the chemical changes. Chemical changes happen means then only there is a transformation of ions takes place. Only by the transformation of ions we can generate the electricity. For that reason, ionic conductor is undergo a chemical decomposition or chemical reaction is appears. Whereas in the metallic conductor, there is no chemical reaction or chemical composition. There is no change of chemical process. there is a change of chemical process. So this is slightly about the metallic and electrolytic conductors difference. They may ask you, I'm not sure about that. So I hope you should remember this one. In the notes, everything will be there. Otherwise, the very best and main concept is whenever I am explaining you, pause the video, better you write down that one. It will be the best and excellent process. So some of your friends, those have came here yesterday while bringing the journals. I observed those notes. They are fantastic. They have written that one. So I like those notes also. So do that same thing. Obviously, I am sending you the notes. If you are writing by the video means it will be the better. If you are not understanding some video, some concepts or explaining means I will send you the notes. In the last solution chapter also, I sent the notes only for around very few students. Why? Because those only students are sending me the response, means those are completing the notes and those are sending me the assignments also, but remaining they are not responding. Please don't do like that. So I am here to improve you. Nothing is there between me and you. If you are not responding means then how should I come to know? Okay, so please do like that. Do the notes yourself. Otherwise, if you are not getting this, call me and ask me. I will be there to help you. So in the last concepts, complete the everything notes, and if you have completed it, send me so that I can complete send you these notes before completion of this, so that you can able to understand this one in a better way. So we will continue this one in the tomorrow classes. The same thing again. Today we have discussed about the conductor. Next we will discuss about the same resistance insulator, and it will be appears. So let's meet on tomorrow. Until have a nice day. Bye.